Hello, I'm Hadassah Dalabo, and welcome to this special presentation celebrating the 10th anniversary of KBII Communication, a public relations, communications, marketing, training, and coaching company owned by Catherine Benaby II. It is such an honor to be your host today, and with me is Catherine Benaby II, the lady of the hour, a focused millennial, one who has an impressive list of accomplishments at a very young age. So we are here. Thank you, Catherine, for allowing me to be the host of this program. And we're going to delve into your journey over the past 10 years. So when I think about the fact that this journey began in 2012, we're now in 2022. You were 20 years old. You were a babe, and you decided to start a business, KBII Communication. What was the impetus for this?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Hadassah, for accepting the invitation to host this special program today. And looking back on my life at 20 years old, I always tell people it was not the intent to start a business at that age. I had two special projects, a short film, as well as a motivational campaign that I said, what would we put this under as a brand? I was thinking, and it came to me, KBII, because that was a nickname. I'm named after my mom, and we added communication. And it was just a perfect blend. And we were able to launch those projects underneath that brand. And we just continued to grow throughout the years.
And the Ministry of Youth at the time would have chosen you. Why? What would cause them to choose you?
So the director at that time saw the photo that I took at a school, Carlton Francis, that invited me to speak. And he wrote underneath it, Catherine, what were you doing? And so I shared with him, and he said, we have some opportunities coming through the ministry. We're looking for young people to reach other young people, and invited me to submit some information, and the rest was history. I was able to go throughout the Bahamas, Abaco, Andros, Crooked Island, north to south, speaking to young people in our various schools and churches about purpose and passion, and really the promise that God has for them. And that was an amazing opportunity because it was reaching young people who weren't so far off from my age. So they were able to connect with me, and I was able to connect with them. So that's definitely a highlight of the journey that I'll never forget.
Wow, what an opportunity of a lifetime. And obviously the director saw something in you, gave you that opportunity, and you ran with it.
Sure.
And tell us, what are some of the services you offer?
So the key functions are really now speaking, training, and coaching. In 2015, I became a certified John Maxwell speaker. So when I started, it was more so the public relations marketing, because I did my degree in mass communications. But as we evolved, really now I've been focusing on the speaking and training, and I enjoy it, especially the coaching aspect, because you get to walk with people. I have a client who came to me saying that she wanted to launch her book. And I'm pleased to say by Q2 of this year, she will be launching Amy Luther, and I will be up there for that launch. And so to see people from that desire to reach their goal and see that to fruition is the most gratifying. And so definitely the speaking training is taking up way more of my time than the public relations and the marketing side of things, but I love it all.
So this business has certainly evolved over the past 10 years. The same year that you received this opportunity from the ministry, 2012, you went to university.
Correct.
So while you were there, did you have opportunities to lead and to really tap more into the potential that the director obviously saw?
Surely. So when I first went off to school, it was very challenging for me. People always said, Catherine, when you go off, you're just going to adjust and everything is going to be fine. But I can tell you that my first 6 months abroad was very difficult. I wasn't making those connections like I thought I would. It was a completely new environment, and I almost thought something was wrong with me. But time sort of has to have its way sometimes. And I'm glad for that time because it really helps me to grow my relationship with Christ. Hey, you don't have your family around you. You don't really have friends. So God, it's me and you. You got to help me.
Yes.
So it was a time that I don't forget. But once I started to build those connections while I was away, I became a part of our campus life department. I became a mentor on our learning communities. It's similar to RA, but it's specifically focused on student academics, and you live on the floor with them. And so these opportunities allowed me to continue to foster those leadership skills needed to train and help others. But again, I didn't know it as that at the time. I just knew that, hey, I was growing my skills, but all the formal words, I didn't know. And so I was glad to continue to grow that through my time abroad. Not saying, oh, it was KBII Communications, but it was all connected.
Right. And being a resident assistant in university, I'm sure you were coaching some of your classmates,
Correct.
you know?
Correct. So I would have been a junior and the students would be freshmen. So I was able to walk them through their first year from an academic standpoint. And then the RA focused more on their overall adjustment to the campus.
And after you would have graduated from university, was it like a year later that you decided to do a certification in terms of John Maxwell? Tell me why? Why did you find this to be necessary?
So a good friend of mine said, okay, you just completed your degree. I was working at Red River Youth for Christ on OPT. That's your working permission to work in the US for a year after you graduate. And so that good friend said, okay, you're working now. You just got your degree. What else are you going to do? And so she challenged me. She said, look to see what certifications or probably another degree program that you may be interested in. I didn't know about John Maxwell to know the influence that he had, but while I was searching, I saw his content and I saw just the impact he was having and also the impact that the team was having, the John Maxwell team. So I set up a consultation call and I was sold, Hadassah. I was sold just by the resources that they equipped their trainers with. And I was on board, and I can tell you that was a sacrifice, Hadassah, because more than half of my salary was going to pay for that certification at the time. And so surely it was worth it. But at that time, I was like, whew, I felt it financially, but surely in the long term, it was a great investment.
KBII Communication. There are other communication companies in the Bahamas. What sets your company apart from the rest?
I think the attention to detail. My clients always say, Catherine, you care. And honestly, I do care. If I'm going to take on a client, I'm going to see them through to the end. And if there's something that I can't do or I can't deliver on, there's someone that I know that I could connect you with to help deliver on that need that you may have. And so if we're working together, you're going to get everything you need and you're going to leave with the deliverables and the objectives that you came to achieve. And so seeing it to the end is what I'm always committed to.
And how do you do it all? You're a one-person company.
Yeah.
You work full-time. How do you do it all?
So you have to pace it. And at this point, I know the type client that I have the time and space to be able to work with. So not everybody I'm able to work with, but those that I do have the opportunity to, I give it my best and I give it my all.
Well, it's certainly been an interesting conversation so far with Catherine Beneby II and her 10-year journey being the owner of KBII Communication. We'll continue the conversation in a moment. Stay with us.
Wow, 10 years in business. I could remember when I first met Catherine, it would have been to Rotaract Club of Nassau Sunset. And since then, I've followed her on the work that she's done. You know, after seeing what she's done and knowing where I wanted to go, I decided to get me a coach. So I got me Catherine. And that is one investment that I have never regretted. Now at first, I was a little skeptical, but as you go through the process with her, you will see the value that she brings. I have enjoyed it, from the challenges, the good and the bad. I've also been able to participate in her first cohort of next level influencers, done social media training, and the most important part for me is she still continues to support. So she's no longer my coach, but now my mentor, one that I'm proud to work with. If you have not worked with Catherine before, please, I urge you, try her. I know we look at coaching and mentoring and think that, oh, this is not important, but you need that person to help to keep you focused. Well, better yet, to first help you identify what it is that you want to do. And then, where do you want to go and how do you want to get there? So for everyone out there, please give her a call. Just even do the assessment. To you, Catherine, I want to say salute. Keep up the awesome work.
Hello, and happy 10th anniversary to you, Catherine, on KBII Communication's 10 years of being in business. As I think back of the 10 years that you would have been a blessing to Bahabians and international clients, I must say how proud I am of you. I remember vividly you telling me that you have found the John Maxwell certification course to be exactly what you think is next for you in this season. 10 years ago, who would have imagined that you would have endured all the changing seasons of your life and be here today celebrating 10 years of faithful contribution in the fields of communication, social media, leadership, and also so many event planning. Catherine, God has been faithful to you, and as you look forward to the next 10 years and beyond, I can only wish for you God's continuous blessings. I know that greater is in store for you. Continue to shine and continue to take KBII Communications to the next level. God bless you.
And we're back. We're having a conversation with Catherine Beneby II, the owner of KBII Communication, and we are celebrating 10 years. We're celebrating with her 10 years of being in business. Once again, I'm Hadassah Delavo. Catherine, every business has its mountaintop and valley experiences. But what gets you to keep pushing even when things are slow as such, even when you don't have those clients coming in? How do you keep going? What makes you push? What is your why?
I think it's important to know your why. And really, that is to help people come into their purpose and realize their goals and dreams. That's what I feel like I'm here for. I don't think that the gift of me being responsible, being dedicated and focused is in vain. Those skills are what help me to help others do that. Because what I found, Hadassah, is some people really struggle with being focused. Some people struggle with the same cycles, and they need people to come along with them to help break them, speak life, and hold their hands to an extent to do some things. And so I feel like God has graced me with that. And it's humbling. It's humbling because it really requires you to have your heart in it. And you have to see people's dreams and goals as your own.
And the thing about it is, one of the things I have read, one of the things I've learned is it's so important to be consistent. And you are consistent. Whether, like, you may be live on Facebook, if you have 100 people watching or if you have 10 people watching, you are consistent and you are yourself. You are someone who knows that, guess what, I have a goal and I'm going to accomplish it. Why is it so important to be consistent? Because some people fall off.
Consistency is key, Hadassah, and I'm glad that you brought it up because it's something that I always teach and really encourage others to do. And that's the key thing. We have to live what we're challenging others to do as well. And so not every day I want to show up, not every day. And honestly, I'm not able to post all of the time, especially not as much now. But the point is, I still try my best to have some visibility and letting people know that I'm still on here and I'm still here for you. And so I think it's very important to find what works for you. Like I said, I'm not able to post every day, but if I can post once or twice a week, and then even the personal check-ins, it may not always be visible. Sometimes it's behind the scenes, checking in on your current and past clients and letting them know that you're still here and being consistent with the messaging.
And what is interesting is that you're being watched. You are being followed. Because over a 2-year period between 2019 and 2021, you were nominated for 2 noted awards. Tell us about those.
Well, the first one, 40 Under 40, that one took me by surprise, simply because I had told 2 people. I said, if I can get this before I'm 40, I would be grateful, right? And so at the time, I'm still under 30, about to turn 30 this month here. And so I said, I got time. Well, 10 more years, 10 plus years to reach this goal. And can you believe a couple months after that, Hadassah, I got the email stating that I was nominated. And so I called those 2 individuals and I said, did you all nominate me? Because of course, if they did, I wouldn't be able to accept it. I'm a person of integrity. I'm not going to look for these type of things, not the right way. And so they was like, what you talking about? We didn't do anything. You shared it with us. That was between us. That was just something you shared, right? And so I contacted the organization and I said, could you tell me who nominated me, just so that I could have that piece about the process? And they shared with me. And I said, okay, this was fair and square. This person, I didn't have any speaking about the desire or aspiration, and I knew it was God. And so the 40 Under 40 definitely came sooner than expected. But I was grateful for that. And then the top 48 millennial, which was last year. And so again, another accolade that I was surprised about, but indeed humbled and grateful for.
Right. And I'm sure it was surreal, right?
Surely, especially that 40 Under 40.
Wow. So your high standards really cross your personal and professional lives. And of course, I know that you were once at Queen's College Center for Further Education, and you were the brainchild behind the Bahamian Exchange, which is a human library, really. And when I look back and see the level of people in society who would have participated, Catherine, how did you do it? And where did this come from?
So one day I saw on social media the whole concept of the human library, which began in Denmark, where you have the opportunity to sit with people from all walks of life for a short period of time and ask them anything you want. And I was inspired. And I went to work and I shared the concept with my colleagues. And they said, Catherine, we believe in it. We believe in you. Let's do it. And so shout out to Latasha and Sharice, who were my then colleagues at the time, because their response really gave me the fuel to actually go forward and make it happen. And so we had to find a Bahamian angle to it because, we have our own culture and context. And so the first year we called it the Human Library Showcase. And we were privileged to have as one of the features that year Dame Janet Bostwick. And so she was definitely a highlight among so many wonderful features that year that started us out. And we went straight up to last year, which was our 5th year. And I'm telling you, like you said, all walks of life, politicians, community leaders, sports members, activists, you name it, we had it a part of it. And so it's been a pleasure to bring that to life. And again, seeing something and bringing it and making it a reality, that's so important, but even as we just spoke about consistency.
Wow. And so as we bring this segment to a close, Catherine, it's year 10, but how do you intend to continue making an impact in terms of speaking and training and being a coach?
Hadassah, I believe that I have to continue to get better. The only way that I can pour out and help others to get better is to continue to challenge myself. So in my health, in my wellness, in my spiritual life, I want to keep growing. And once I keep growing, everything around me will grow.
Well, thank you so much. It's been such a wonderful conversation so far. We have learned so much about Catherine in terms of her professional life, and it's been obviously a very accomplished 10 years as the owner of KB2 Communication. But we're going to get up close and a little more personal when we return. We're going to hear more about who Catherine really is. Stay tuned.
Congratulations, Catherine. I'm so proud of you. This is 10 years. So proud of you. Let me tell you about this number 10. When I was 14, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. You were 4 years old. I promised myself I would never let you know all of what was going on. God is good. At the age of 24, I accepted MS, multiple sclerosis, and I wanted to tell the world what I was doing. And I asked you to please do recording a video. You were 14 years old, so that is 10 years. I'm so proud of you, and you did that, and I told everyone all over the world and in the Bahamas. At the age of 20, 2012, and this year is 2022, so that's 10 years. You did a short film for me, and it is called Sudden Onset. I'm so proud of you. I continue to say that. And you said to me, David, don't ever let MS go down. And so I want you to know that I have started the MS support group in the Bahamas in 2014 to this day. Thank you. OPT. You started OPT after you graduated university. And you started John Maxwell. So you started teaching. And I was one of the first people in your first cohort to the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Yeah, and we did that over Skype. I was so proud of you. Then in 2016, you did the Be Intentional, and 2017, put your dreams to the test, and I am just super proud of you, once again. Now, I spoke with my parents to just see what they thought about you. I talked to Dad, he said the commitment. You are committed in all that you do. Over these 10 years, you keep on going. Talked to Mom, Mom said, you're dynamic. That energy, that enthusiasm is what is mindful and what is lawful. Then I talked to Big Brother Derek. He said that you are passionate. You take that love in all that you're doing. And I say that you are focused. You continue to be focused in all that you do. So you keep all of that. Gym number 2, you can go to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. I'm proud of you, sis. Keep on going.
Catherine Vanderby II is excellent at what she does. As a trainer and communication expert, she articulates well and is able to impart knowledge to others with ease. Catherine embodies what it is to be a true leader. She leads not only by example, but from a place of compassion. I have personally experienced that Catherine has a heart for service and that she's willing to go out of her way to assist others. As for the Bahamian Exchange, I could see the effort that was put into it. As an attendee, I thoroughly enjoyed the presenters and the small breakout sessions that allowed for a feeling of a more personal encounter with the speakers. Even in the midst of the pandemic, Catherine and the team found a way to bring the Bahamian Exchange experience to the public in an innovative way. It lacked nothing. She's well on track to fulfill her mantra of living her legacy today. Catherine has accomplished so much already, including making the list of top 40 under 40, that I can only imagine how bright the future will be. Catherine Vanderby II, congratulations on how far you have come and on the 10th anniversary of KB2 Communications. Keep shining.
It is said that the 2 greatest days in a person's life is the day that they were born and the day they discovered why. Hi, I'm Coach Ricardo Miller, and I want to congratulate my Kingdom sister, Catherine Beneby, for 10 exceptional years of business and service to humanity. Listen, Catherine, you made a commitment to become a coach. You made a commitment to being a lifelong learner, but you made a commitment to also develop a business that provided a service that has just helped so many people so far. I'm grateful for having met you and having sat with you, and you helped me out with building and developing the platform that we was able to launch a national initiative in the Bahamas, our annual summit. You were instrumental in helping us put parts of that together, and so thank you. In addition, we have done a number of virtual events together, and so you know what? I look back now and I say I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for what you bring to us as a society, as a world. We need more people like you, Catherine Beneby. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your commitment to keep going and moving forward. You know what? The best is yet to come. So your kingdom brother and friend, Ricardo Miller here, is celebrating with you all the way from Dallas, Texas, saying 10 years is behind you. Now I'm looking forward to what God is going to do through you this next 10 years that's in front of you. The best is yet to come. You might as well just declare it. Next stop, the top. Keep soaring, Catherine. Congratulations on 10 years.
Welcome back. I'm Hadassah Delavo here with Catherine Beneby II, owner of KBII Communication, and we are celebrating 10 years. 10 years of a viable communications, public relations, marketing, speaking, training, coaching business. Catherine, you are living your legacy now. And that's so important because what we are producing here, often we hear these type of things when someone's already gone. But how important is it to do this now?
Every day counts. Every day I wake up, I say, Catherine, how are you going to make a difference? And I believe that how I spend each day is how I will be remembered. And so each day I take serious. Each day I try to smile. I try to make someone's day better, because truth is, Hadassah, it's not easy. We come across people each day who have their own challenges, and that's why I always say to be kind. And if you can be a light in someone's life, it makes a difference. So I'm committed to that, and I trust that all of that will come together to be the legacy that I leave behind.
And when the cameras aren't on, you're not interviewing someone, you're not posting, who really are you?
Really, Hadassah, I like the quietness. I'm always speaking, I'm always connecting, but when I'm by myself, I just want to be by myself and just sort of be with my thoughts. And each night I have times for reflection. I think about things that went well. I think about things that I could have done better. And so when I come into that new day, I have renewed passion and renewed zeal. And so when I'm by myself, it's really just trying to be and trying to connect with who I am so that I can continue to show up.
Right. So do you have low moments?
I do. And that's why I think having that time to stop and sort of sit with myself and God and say, hey, God, I need you in X, Y, Z. And I need you to help me to figure out some things, because in my own strength, Hadassah, I can't figure out many things. But with his strength, anything I can do. And so those quiet moments are really the strength of me showing up each day.
And of course, I love the fact that you give God the glory. And of course, I don't expect anything less from you. How important is your relationship with God in everything that you do personally and professionally?
So there's a gospel song which says, you are my strength, strength like no other. And Hadassah, that strength, what I'm talking about, is what I need each day. And so really reading the word, being around people who are godly, because some days you don't feel like you have the strength, but when you have positive mentors and coaches who's like, Catherine, did you read your Bible? Are you spending that time that you need to spend? they're very important. So that personal time to put in, and even watching the company that you have. So that when you falling off, they're there to say, hey, Catherine, get yourself in line and let's move forward.
And so in the busyness of life, you find time for God. What about self-care?
So really, you got to make a choice. You got to make a choice, because honestly, you could get so caught up in the day-to-day. But again, I can't pour out unless I'm able to pour back in. So really getting massages as much as possible is important. Getting my nails done, hair done, making sure that I'm taking care of myself, so that when I show up, I'm confident. I can have my head up and, slay a little bit, right? Slay. Right? So you have that confidence. So definitely making sure that I take care of myself in that way as well.
I read Stand Up by your brother David. And one of the things that was very, very clear to me is that family is very important. One of the things that he pointed out was the fact that there's like this unspoken rule in your family where whatever is happening, everyone just shows up. It's important to support each other. Your family, your parents, what role do they play in all of this?
Trust me. You hit the nail on the head. From I was a young girl to date, my parents and my family have been with me 110%. And with the strength of God and the strength of them and a strong family and friends, I am able to keep showing up. And so when I'm low, they're there with me and they're like, Catherine, you could do this. We believe in you. And when I have certain events, they're there and they're my greatest cheerleaders. And so I thank God for them. I really do. And I know that they won't stop, because it's been this amount of years and they've been with me. And so I look forward to their continued support as we go into this new decade.
And it's definitely a blessing to have godly parents.
Right.
That's a gift. Catherine, I remember when I heard your name for the first time, Catherine Benaby II. That's so unique. It's usually boys who are named the second, who are named Junior, but you are Catherine Benaby II. First of all, what does that mean for you, being named after your mom? What does that mean for you? And really, how do you live up to that name?
So she always tells me, don't wear her name out. She gave it to me for a reason. She had a very tough pregnancy, 2 miscarriages before me. And so when I came, it was no debate. Of course, my dad wanted me to be called Davina, because after David, and my second oldest brother is named after him. And so she said, you ready? Got yours. It's time for me to get mine. And so here it is today, Catherine Benaby II. I have individuals who say, when you get married, if that is to be, what's going to happen? I say, when we get to that bridge, we will cross it. As it stands now, it's Catherine Benaby II, and it's truly a pleasure. My mom has made such a great impact in the educational community. There is nowhere I can go, and people hear that name, they'll say, well, she taught me at C.R. Walker, she taught me at C.I. Gibson. And I'm telling you, I've gotten grace and mercy in certain environments simply because of her name. And so definitely when we talk about living legacy, I have a great legacy through her and my dad and really my family, just being people that are honorable. Yes. And so it's definitely a mandate, a responsibility that comes with that name. And I trust that I am living it. And she always tells me that she's proud. And so I'm thankful.
So tell me, you're beautiful inside and out. You're articulate, you are just full of life, you're well educated, you are an entrepreneur, and you are an employee. You have a solid job. Have you ever thought of, what life would be like with a family? Do you want to have your own family? Do you want to have a husband? Do you want children? Are they in your future?
Surely, I'm open to it. I would love to, get married and have a family one day if it is the will of God. Surely that's in my hopes and dreams and plans. We'll see what God has to come in the near future, but that is a personal desire. So I look forward to seeing what happens in that regard. But I'm surely optimistic about having a family.
And I will get my fascinator ready, okay?
Listen, do what you gotta do.
So what's on your bucket list? Do you have a bucket list?
So I want to do zip lining at some point in my life. And so I don't know. I feel like I'm the type person that when I make something up in my mind, I'll do it. But when I actually get there, then I get the nerves. the nerves. But that is definitely one of the things that I want to do, zip lining. And that's the top one that comes to mind right now.
Right. Okay. And anything specific that you'd like to accomplish or do in 2022?
So certainly this month was very big for me. 10 years in business as well as my 30th birthday. So March, babies, listen, you know, we have a special pride. So this month is very special to me, March, and celebrating both the business and my personal life. In June, one of my best friends is getting married in Minnesota. So of course, gonna be there front and center because that's my girl. And then later on this year, I have a trip planned to Scotland. And so excited about that and just exploring that area of the world. So this would be my first international trip. So fingers crossed that everything continues to be well from a COVID standpoint so that we can see that trip to be a reality.
Wow. I'd love to go to Scotland. I have a friend who actually studied over there. So yes, have a wonderful time and be safe, of course. And my final question is, what is in Catherine Benaby's future? What do you see?
Hadassah, I always answer this question as continued growth. I don't know what I'm going to be 5-10 years from now, but I sure hope that I'm better than I am today. And so, however that looks, I'm open. However God wants to move and shape that, I don't want to put any limits or restrictions on him. I just know that I want to be better in all aspects of my life going forward. So however that looks, I don't know, but I'm open and willing to allow him to do what he wants to do.
So you all see why I love this young lady so much, right? You're so focused and you're so determined, and I absolutely love the fact that you continue to give God the glory. And so it's been such a pleasure speaking to you, having this conversation, and congratulations on 10 years in business. You are certainly a wonderful example for other millennials and for older people. And so once again, I'm Hadassah Delavo, and it's truly been a pleasure to have this conversation with Catherine Benaby II as we celebrate 10 years of KB2 Communications.
Today is the day. I am so excited to be alive. Today is a special day. The key word I want to tell you this morning is do it afraid. So many of you message me and say, hey, I'm fearful. I don't want to go after my dreams. But guess what? You have to do it. I have butterflies in my tummy. I have questioned, can I do this? Although I've done many speaking engagements, I've moderated many services, but you will always have that question, can I do it? Am I good enough? And if that's you this morning, the word is do it afraid. I have my co-moderator here this morning, Mr. Carl Campbell. We're excited about this. And so my message to people is to hold on to their vision, stick it out, because not everybody will always buy into your vision at the beginning, but you have to believe in your vision and do everything it takes to make that vision a reality. And the Bahamian Exchange is a testimony of that stickability, consistency, and dedication. No matter what it is throughout my life, that has been my story. Anything I put my hands to do, I go all in.
Say it again, say it with the three: stickability,
consistency and dedication. They are three key components you need. People watch you. People want to know, hey, will this person stand the test of time? And like I said, we were able to do that. And so whatever it is you have to do, that's my story. Stick with it.
That's good.
Words of good intention and intentional living is very important, because we don't want to be in this left quadrant. We want to be on the right. But reality is, some days are hard. Like, you're not into living for today. But I try to have this mindset that today is all I have. I can plan for tomorrow, but today, what am I doing with today? All right? So
As we move forward, I have 3 key points I want to talk about. 1, starting small, believing big. 2, searching until you find your why. 3, connecting with like-minded and like-valued individuals. So number 1, start small, believe big. One of my favorite preachers, Stephen Furtick, says your limitation is in what you don't have or what you don't use. So each one of you, your unique skills, your abilities, your perspectives are more than enough. I want you to repeat that. My unique skills, abilities, perspectives, and talent is more than enough. And I want you to say with real conviction, my unique abilities, perspective, and talent are more than enough.
Listen, you have to work on yourself first. Lead yourself well. Mind, body, spirit. It starts with you. We can't skirt around that. We have to look in the mirror and say, what type of person am I? What type of leader am I? Would I want to follow me?
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah, that's a great question.
And really sit down with that. Would I want to follow me? And Coach Ricardo, I've had to do that. And there's some things that I saw in myself that I said, you know what, Catherine, you need to change.
Wow.
Like, I'll just be honest. There's some things that you need to change. I'm a very direct person, very like, let's get it done now.
Yeah.
Like, why put off what we could do for tomorrow or what we could do for today? But then I realized that some people, they don't work like that. And you cannot treat people or force them to do things that are out of their way and their norm. But how can you get to a level where you build rapport, where you build understanding, where you still get what you need to get done, but it may not be the way that you may have done it. And that's fine, because we don't want people to be mini us.
Right.
We want people to live and lead their lives while achieving the objectives. Really and truly, we could set in our minds that we want to achieve something, but if we don't have the support along the way, it makes it more difficult. And that was me, October 2018, where I was laying down in my bed and I said, listen, I need help. Yes, I've lost weight before, but this year I had put back on the weight and I knew that I couldn't do it by myself. So I reached out to a coach and the rest is history. My life has been changed. I've been going in the direction that I want to go in this regard. So you got to make the choice. Hey, I want something different for my life. What I've been doing is not good enough. So who can I reach out to help me to move where it is that I am trying to go? So it was a pleasure. Like I said, this was an impromptu live. I didn't even plan to do this, but because it kept coming up this week, I said, you know what? Let me come on this live before I have this training this morning and really help somebody.
Miss Benby, you surely impressed me.
So what did you say? You said you were shocked when you met me.
I was shocked. I was expecting a more mature person like me, or a little younger. But there goes this young girl with all this knowledge coming out to impress me. I'm not easily to be persuaded. But thank you again, Miss Benby.
Amen. I thank God. Thank you. Blessings, Miss Ben.